All right. Good morning. We now have a quorum, so clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith. Present. Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas.
Here.
Representative Bowman. Representative McCool. Representative Rorks. Representative Petrie.
Here.
Senator Douglas.
Present.
Chairman Hart.
Here. Thank you. First item on the agenda is consideration of the minutes of the August 12th meeting of the committee. There's a motion that they be considered as being approved.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Senator Douglas, second by Senator Meredith. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote nay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith.
Aye.
Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Bowman. Representative McCool. Representative Rorks. Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes. Motion carries. Total number of items on the agenda today are are 355 contracts in the amount of $278,740,447.34. All vendors are registered with the Secretary of State's office. The Office of Energy Policy is requesting items numbers 62, 63, and 64 on the MOA routine pink list be deferred to the October 2025 meeting of the committee. Do I have a motion to defer these contracts to the October 2025 meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Co-Chair Douglas, second by Senator Meredith. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith.
Aye.
Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Bowman. Representative McCool. Representative Rorks. Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. The next is a deferred list from the July and August 2025 agendas. The first item is with the Kentucky Educational Television and is number 28 on the July routine PSC green list. The vendor is now registered with the Secretary of State's office. Do we have a motion to consider this contract reviewed? As reviewed. Oh, yeah, without objection. I'm sorry.
Motion.
Motion by Co-Chair Douglas. Second by Senator Richardson. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith.
Aye.
Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Bowman. Representative McCool. Representative Rorks.
Yes.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. The next items on the deferred list are with the University of Louisville and our numbers 118 on the July PSC Amendment Ivory list and number 59 on the August PSC Amendment Ivory list. If representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record. Are they virtual? I think they might be virtual. Are you guys on there?
You all hear me? I can barely hear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can.
There you go. We can hear you now.
So I was going to say, my name is Angela Curry. I'm Chief Legal Counsel for the University of Louisville, and Sally Mosberger is also here. Sally, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Sally Malzberger, and I'm the Chief Procurement Officer at the University of Louisville.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Thank you so much. I think Representative Petrie has some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On if I'm looking at number 118 and at 59, both of those kind of together, if I've got my numbers correct, I think an issue that's been raised on this is, especially the 118, it looks like the hourly rate is extraordinarily higher than the state rate. And I'm not sure we've got sufficient description of what the services actually are. Can somebody help me fill in details about description as well as why we would go from 125 to 525? That's 125 to 525.
Absolutely. Thank you, Senator. So this PSC is for complex litigation. We did have an RFP process that was properly vetted through our procurement office, and we had a number of firms compete. And generally, we define complex litigation as matters where there is emerging law, very little precedent, multiple plaintiffs, multiple constitutional issues. And we've had an uptick in those cases, particularly this year with emerging state and federal law. The good news is that we've also had cost savings, significant cost savings in other areas under other PSCs. And in fact, the cost savings that we've experienced on other PSCs would more than cover the uptick here. The other matter that's included within the fees here relates to a matter in Colorado. It's a complex estate matter that is very close to resolution, and the resolution is expected to bring significant, in fact, tenfold financial benefit to the university. So that will be coming to an end within the next 60 to 90 days. Excuse me. So we're hopeful that this will be a one-time sort of increase. When we initially did the PSC, we were very conservative in terms of what we thought the spend might be, because we've never done a complex litigation specific PSC, but we now have a better understanding of the issues before us. And again, we've experienced significant cost savings on other PSCs to cover this increase.
If I may. Other PSCs, help me on that. So this increase is no longer necessary because we've achieved savings in other PSCs, or I'm not sure the
Well,
records.
the rules are that you have to have, it's PSC specific. So in other words, it's by PSC number. So you decide and you get approval for a certain amount for a certain PSC, but you may have another PSC. So for example, we have PSC 25-061, which we've been approved for $75,000. There's not been any spend on that PSC. So when you look at the other PSCs that have already been approved, we've had such significant cost savings on those that overall the spend is within the increase that we're asking for today on this particular one.
All right, I understand it. And this is general fund use. This is not something else. Is that correct?
Correct.
And is Dinsmore and Stoll in Louisville the firm that's actually handling the litigation in Colorado, or is this a subsidiary firm that's hired in addition also?
Yes, we have Stalkinen and Ogden on that one, and we did have to hire local counsel in Colorado due to the bar rules there, but Stalkinen has been the one that has taken the lead on dealing with all of the issues and bringing us to resolution.
And so the Louisville law firm, it had the lowest rate in the RFP process?
Yes. And we did a number of firms. We didn't just choose one, but they all had very competitive rates. And this firm did the best job in terms of pulling together the skill set the attorneys needed and being economical with the time.
Well, look, it's not a wrong answer, so I want to go back to this. Was it the lowest rate in the RFP? They may have had the best, in your judgment, or U of L's judgment, the best package of pulling everything together. I'm just asking about the rate. Was it the lowest?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Sally, I don't know if you have our score sheets. Oh, you're on mute, Sally.
Sorry, the train was coming by. No, they were not, but they were awarded a contract based on, we put a threshold for what rates and what qualifications they needed to have, and evaluated that section, hoping to be broad enough to maybe get new firms that we weren't aware of. But they were amongst those with the specialization we needed. And as Angela said, we needed to make multiple awards because we're not sure at the time we're going to use these firms who's going to in fact be available. And we needed to have multiple awards for that very reason.
That's all I have for now.
All right, thank you. I think Senator Douglas has a question.
Thank you, Chairman Hart. Earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard the comments that it is expected that the return from this litigation would not only be able to cover the contract, but multiple amount of return. I'm paraphrasing that for myself. Am I to understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Then my question is, you made a comment that the extra money would be returned to the quote university.
Yes, the university is expecting a financial return from the matter that resulted in some of the fees here.
With those multiple amounts of return being returned to the university, can we then, as a Commonwealth, expect some alterations in the contracts, or at least the contract amounts that you will be requesting from the General Assembly?
I mean, I certainly would think so. I think actually just from the cost savings on the PSCs that we have that have been approved now, we could make those adjustments. And the only reason why I'm hesitant is because I don't control, the CFO controls where the money goes and where it sits, but certainly I could come in and ask for some adjustments on approved. If we look at all the approved PSCs for the University of Louisville, I think that's something we certainly could do. Yes, sir.
Well, I really thank you for clarifying that. Could you make those adjustments that we anticipate seeing available to Chairman Hart and myself for distribution to the rest of the committee members?
Sure, and Sally, I'll need your help. Sally, so if we were to go in and make adjustments just on the cost savings?
Well, just when those adjustments are realized. I'm not asking for that right now.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Sally, any issues there? Any concerns with that? Yes, we'll do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
All right, do I have any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to consider the contract reviewed without objection? I have a motion by Representative Rorks,
Second.
second by Co-Chair Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
No.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rorks.
Yes.
Senator Douglas.
Aye, but explain my vote.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I think that one of the things that we sometimes lack are the checks and balances that are supposed to be in place. And there's a lot of information that sometimes we as a committee do not get. I know they've already made the commitment that they will be getting this information to you and I for distribution to the other members of this committee. So I think that with that being the case, I think we, or at least I, want to give them that opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't leave yet. I forgot we have questions on number 59 from the August PSC Amendment Ivory list. These were some questions that Representative Ballman had pertaining to this, and since he's not here, I'm going to go ahead and ask him for him. He was concerned how many of the services provided in the contract are mandated by statute.
How many of the services are I don't know that any of them would be mandated by statute, to my knowledge.
Okay. Is there a way to narrow the scope of this contract to only provide those services, well, mandated by statute, but I guess if they're not mandated by statute, is there a way to maybe tailor this a little bit more, or is it kind of a moot point at this point?
I'm happy to try to work with the legislator to see if there are ways that we could make it more targeted so there could be a better understanding of the type of spending, but I don't know. Sally, I defer to you as well on that.
Well, the reason for that broad, these are the vendors that we have had experience with that will honor the 125 rate. So when we do have legal cases that are not as comprehensive, we try to utilize these lower rate at the state rate contracts that we put in place. So every biennium, that's how we determined also, we review all the contracts to see how much we've used these firms. And so we definitely try to keep the vendors locally that will live by that 125 rate, which is increasingly difficult, as you've heard from the various agencies. So that's why we've made the scope large, just so that it would include anything that they'd be able to handle that depth and breadth.
Okay, thank you for that. One last thing. With this contract, it's more than doubling the original contract, but we've not really been provided a justification. Has something changed since the original contract was approved for the increase?
Well, we had the other, this was the first, frankly, Senator Meredith will recall, at least a year ago, where we had several sole source justifications for these legal services. So we did an RFP hoping to get new vendors at a lower rate, but still above the 125. So we knew that we needed to utilize the higher rate expertise from the last several years. However, we were very judicial with the history. Well, we do look at these contracts when we set up the new 2-year biennium contracts to not ask for a large sum, because we don't want to have the committee approving funds that we don't expect to expend, to be frank with you. So we really, Angela's office, with Angela being at the university for so many years, and with some team members that could really pull the records, we've tried to be very careful in what we ask for, to be frank with you, that and to come back to the committee when we do need to increase. And with this being one, any of those that are at the 125 rate, we don't want to load them up, because we already knew with these specialized services that we went out for RFP and did multiple awards, but very carefully. So we're really trying to retool with the history that we've had over the last 2 and actually 4 years of having a lot of legal cases, and how we go to the committee and be firm on our footing about each one of them, frankly. And this is one of those that we're coming back, and we just frankly have cases that we want to finish out with this firm of use that will exceed that amount.
All right, thank you so much for that, Representative Petrie. Do you have any questions?
No, it was, Mr. Chair, I think you asked the question that I was after. I'm not sure the responsiveness of the answer to the question asked, in the sense of we have an increase of 150,000 to 250,000, and it looks like it's replacing a contract, and I can't see that the scope has really changed or additional services. It just sounds like, well, we've got more litigation. If there's nothing more than that, then I'm fine. If there is, I'd kind of like to know.
All right. Senator Thomas.
Thank you, Chairman Hart. Chairman Hart, I guess I have a question that I would like to ask you or Chairman Petrie. It's the one, and we've talked about this already as recently as the last meeting. Is the 125 an hour, is that set in statute? Is that set in regulation? Or is that a practice that we have as this committee? Because I just got to say, being in Lexington, I don't know any of the top firms in Lexington whose market rate is less than $385 an hour. Okay, you and Dinsmore and Shoal is in Lexington, and they're an excellent law firm. Okay, but if you take Stahl, Keenan, Ogden, you take Greenbaum, you can take a number of your outstanding firms in Lexington. None of them, market rate is less than $385 an hour. So I mean, I think this 125 is just, I mean, talking about ancient and outdated. I mean, it's just unreasonable.
To answer your question, it's not set in statute. It's been committee policy, the 125. And it's never been revisited since I've been chair.
If I may,
Do you know?
And the only thing I would add to Sally's response is that the Stall Keenan and Ogden PSC is similar to the Dinsmore PSC in that there are other PSCs where we've had cost savings. I'd have to sit down and do the numbers, but I would imagine that the increase that's covered here would at least be covered in part by those cost savings. That would be my only addition.
Okay. I think Representative Peter has a question, and I might have misspoke on that.
It's all good. It's something that's not looked at very much, to be honest with you, but as I recall, that is a statutory rate.
That is, okay.
And not been adjusted in some time, but it remains the statutory rate that sets for all of state government and the legal services therein. And then when you go outside for contract, then we talk about different rates. You're in a much different market than I am, but even in Todd County, which is much smaller market with much less complex litigation going on, my rate is $200 an hour.
Thanks for the clarification. I do apologize for the confusion on that. Is there any other questions? If not, do we have a motion to consider item or contract number 59 on the PSC Ivory list from August for review without objection? A motion by Representative Rourke. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
No.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke,
Yes.
Senator Douglas,
No, but explain my vote, Mr. Chairman. You know, Mr. Chairman, there's absolutely positively no doubt that this is a very specialized area. And I really do support my colleagues in the legal area. However, in the healthcare space, we have the same issue. And I don't hear anyone complaining about it very much. So I guess what I would like to do is just simply say no, because I think this is something that we need to take a look at in a number of areas in the contract area here in the Commonwealth, not just one. Thank you.
Chairman Hart,
Before I cast my vote, we're going to clarify this for you, Senator Thomas. But after looking at this a little bit further, we believe that it's a regulation inside the executive branch for that rate. There is a committee policy at 125, but we're going to check to verify whether or not that's an executive branch regulation or a statutory requirement, and we'll get back with you on that.
I just think we ought to have some, as a committee, we ought to have some discussion of that and make some recommendations to the legislature as to what we think changes need to be implemented. And to Senator Douglas's point, I am certainly agreeable that doctors should be paid more than $125 an hour. I go to doctors. I see what my doctor bills are. So I'm not limiting my concerns just to attorneys. Doctors, architects, certainly people in those levels of professions. The market requires more than $125 an hour.
Okay. All right. With that, my vote is yes. The motion carries, and the contract will move forward. Thank you all so much for being with us. The final item on the deferred list is with the Behavioral Health Development and Intellectual Disabilities, and is number 7 on the July routine MOA pink list. If the representatives are here, please identify yourself for the record. Come forward, or are they virtual as well? Oh, I see you.
Dr. Patty Clark. I'm the Director for the Division of Mental Health within the Department for Behavioral Health, Developmental, and Intellectual Disabilities.
Hello, my name is Sarah Johnson. I'm the Director for the Division of Substance Use Disorder within the Department for Behavioral Health, Developmental, and Intellectual Disabilities.
Yeah, good morning. Hi, I'm Wesley Duke. I'm the General Counsel at the Cabinet.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here, and I think Co-Chair Douglas has some questions.
I do, and thank you, Mr. Chair. And I want to thank you, all three of you all, for being here today. You're the first ones to warm the chair this morning, so and you're doing it well. I actually have two questions, and I think you'll be able to answer these fairly quickly. The first one is, would you just take a couple of minutes, 20 seconds or so, to give the people of the Commonwealth an idea of the things that this $18,684 or $684,992 will be used for. And the second question is, have there been any thoughts to how some of the changes that are likely to occur at the federal level and therefore affect us here, and certainly my House colleagues in terms of appropriations, in the future in terms of sustaining this amount of money?
Thank you. Thanks, Senator Douglas. The services provided by 7 counties in this community include everything from our 988 services. So when somebody is in crisis and they pick up the phone call and call for help, just like we would for 911, the folks at 7 counties are one of 14 of the centers that answer those calls across the state. In addition to that, we have a wide array of services that are provided to individuals with serious mental illness, as well as children and youth with severe emotional disabilities. And that means that they have experienced a behavioral health crisis to the point that it is impacting their ability to function, whether at school, at work, within their family as well. So providing services such as therapy, outpatient services, first episode psychosis. So when that individual experiences that first episode of psychosis, the providers at 7 counties are uniquely trained to be able to address that and begin to transition them back to a normal path, as opposed to allowing that to escalate into a higher crisis that might end them up in hospitalization, for example. In addition to that,
if I may, just a short interruption.
Sure.
May I, Mr.
Go
Chair?
ahead.
I'm sorry. We are talking about outpatient services.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
see.
all the services provided through 7 counties are outpatient services. None of them are inpatient at this point. In addition to all of the mental health services, so thinking of, we have a wide array of substance use services as well, and my colleague, Ms. Johnson, can provide some of the list of those services too.
Keep in mind, 2 minutes goes fast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the regional prevention centers are housed in the community mental health centers. So the regional prevention centers help support schools and community organizations to really focus on that universal prevention, to hopefully prevent the disorders from occurring in the first place. But for substance use services, the services are offered across the continuum. So we're talking about different types of treatment services, recovery services, harm reduction services, as well as prevention.
And as your second question, Senator, I can take that. As with all of our programs at the Cabinet right now, we are very cognizant of what's happening at the federal level. We are getting communication when it comes from the various federal agencies. Excuse me. I think this contract, the information we're getting from SAMHSA, or the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, is very important as to coverage of services, any potential changes. So we are monitoring that daily. We have a fairly good rate of communication with those agencies. Things don't come out on a regular basis, but they come out. And like I said, I think we're getting the things that we need going forward. So we just continue to be aware of what's happening at the federal level. And when changes happen, or we're directed that changes are forthcoming, then we try to pivot accordingly. So it's a very kind of a fluid situation, but it's an everyday thing.
Well, I just wanted to make, if I may, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to make sure that conversations, anticipatory conversations, whether the results of those conversations are ever needed or not, those anticipatory conversations have been entered into, so that we don't run into a situation where we fail to move forward on things that we know that we need to do until the time to do them. Does that make sense? I want to thank you all very much for coming in today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any other questions? Representative Pete? Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some of this we may have covered before, but I just want to follow up on it. Is there any movement at your level to try to work with the attorneys in the bankruptcy case to recover or bring to resolution the case with 7 counties? We're talking about, at the minimum, score and scores of millions of dollars alleged, I don't think agreed, but alleged, somewhere between 20 or 40 and 140 million. It's hard to get a number. I've talked with every side, it seems like, and in the bankruptcy court itself. Hard to get a number, but all we're doing is floating down the river at this point, renewing contracts. And I'm not saying that any of the three of you are responsible for resolving the bankruptcy case. But you're here, and I've got to ask, is anybody working on trying to go, we have a number, and then trying to work through these contracts for the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 29 and a half years, ever how long the contracts continue with 7 counties, if that is by necessity, to close out the bankruptcy case, recover as much tax money as we can into, or for taxpayers, into the retirement system relative to 7 counties, and put it to rest. Anything.
I can take so it's my understanding, by just looking at the record of the bankruptcy case, is that this matter is pending with the judge on a motion for reconsideration. It has been, I think, almost 13, 14 months right now. So I don't really see so obviously with that current status, I don't know where the opportunity is to engage with the attorneys. However, I would be happy to do anything from the cabinet perspective to see if I could shake something loose. I personally think the place to start would be with the retirement system and see where they stand, because it's my understanding it's their motion. And but yeah, I'm happy to do that. But once again, it's been sitting there for a while, which is kind of frustrating for all the parties involved, including everyone in this room. So yeah, happy to do that, Representative. I'm happy to.
Thank you. And if I may, the motion's been pending that long, and the lawsuit, the legal action started back moving around in 12 and really seriously in 13, and so we're well over a decade into this. And the motion pending, if it were granted or denied, is not going to move this case to final. There's still going to be actions necessary by both parties to make that happen. So again, I don't look at the three of you and go, why have you not settled this? But I'm looking at the three of you and go, can you put some pressure on to get it settled, or somebody to look at it? Dust it off. Look at the date on it. Now again, this is not toward you. Dust it off. Dust off the case file. Look at the date on the filing. This is one that needs to be finished. That's what I'm asking, if you can just bring it back to somebody's attention. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Understood, Reverend.
Okay. Senator Thomas.
Is it Miss Clark or Dr. Clark?
Dr. Clark.
Okay, Dr. Clark, I want to make sure I
Thank you.
recognize you properly. Dr. Clark, and again, no one's blaming you. Representative Chairman Petrie is right. But you got to understand, we have a job to do here. I mean, we really have a job, and we're accountable. Every time we step into this building, we're accountable to the public. Okay? And so long as 7 counties in bankruptcy, you're going to get this over and over again, because we've got to ask the question, because we're dealing with a bankrupt entity. And so any contract you bring forward, we've got to address. And so this just has to come to some closure at some point. Again, you're not responsible, but anything that you can do to help the people of Kentucky, because ultimately we're talking about the people of Kentucky's money here. What, 65% of this contract, 63% of this contract is the money of the people of Kentucky. So we just got to bring some closure to this. Otherwise, you're going to get this every time 7 counties comes before us. We've got to, as stewards of the public trust, ask, why is this contract before us, and what you're going to do with it. So hope you understand that, Dr. Clark.
Absolutely. And I appreciate your being stewards, as we are as well, as we try to make sure that we're providing services to those individuals as well.
All right. If there's no other questions, do I have a motion to consider the contract reviewed without objection? Motion by Representative Rourke, second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke.
Yes.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you all so much for being with us. Next order of business is a consideration of the agenda, including the personal service contract list, personal service contract amendment list, memorandum of agreement list, memorandum of agreement amendment list, and the deferred, except for those items selected for further review. Do we have a motion to consider the contracts reviewed without objection?
Motion.
Motion by Co-Chair Douglas. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd like to explain my vote.
Go right ahead.
I'm voting no, and I think maybe this is the first time in the 8 years I've been on this committee we've had a no vote on this particular motion. But the reason for my no vote is because we have numerous contracts that are included in this batch that we're reviewing today that have retroactive requests for approval. And you very well know my aversion to those. When I came in the committee in 2018, every month we had just multiple requests for proposals, requests for approval, retrospectively. And we made a very strong point of contention that that's not appropriate. I claim our committee is like the good housekeeping seal of approval, that when we say a contract's good, it's good. But if we don't have a chance to review those in detail, then we can't give the Commonwealth those assurances. And it's just very disturbing to me that we have controlled that for the most part. I think for this current fiscal year, maybe we've only had one or two requests for retroactive approvals, which I'm very proud that we're doing. But this time we have close to a dozen. And the explanations that are included in our packet, I don't think are sufficient. One is because someone was on a professional conference. Sorry for that, but you need to have internal controls in place to make sure those things don't happen. Another, with multiple contracts, just said administrative error. That tells me absolutely nothing. And I can't, in good faith, approve those contracts if that's all the information I have. And again, I just wanted to admonish people. You've got to have a pretty good excuse for retroactive approval. As a matter of fact, the only one that I have found to be sufficient in my 8 years here was the Kentucky Center for the Arts when they had a fire and they had to repair it immediately. That's justifiable. But things like administrative errors, people being on vacation, things of that nature are just not sufficient explanations. So sorry to belabor the point, but I just don't like to see it happen. Thank you.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke,
Yes.
Senator Douglas.
Explain my vote.
Go right ahead.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I did initially ask for this to move forward, but I must admit I have the same concerns as Senator Meredith with these type contracts. We either stand by what we're asked to do or we don't, and I think a voting aye would be in bad faith for me, and I can't do that to my constituents, and I can't do that to the people of the Commonwealth. So my vote's no.
Okay.
Chairman Hart.
And I'm going to explain my vote too. My vote is no, and it's for a lot of the same reasons that my colleagues have already mentioned. We're trying to do our due diligence, and we're trying to do our statutory or uphold our statutory responsibility on this committee, and it makes it impossible when we have retroactive contracts. So with that being said, the contracts will move forward, but our no votes will be recorded. So thank you all so much for that. The next item the first item on the pool list is with Eastern Kentucky University and is number 15 on the routine PSC green list. If representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. I'm Micah Hunsucker. I'm the Director of Procurement for Eastern Kentucky University.
I'm Brian Mackinnon, Chief Campus Operations Officer.
All right, thank you all so much for being here. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you all so much. And I have a question. The amount of this contract, it kind of jumped out to me. It's $119 million for construction manager risk services. Is that the total cost of the construction, or what are we actually paying for with the 118 or 19? Excuse me.
It is. That's the total construction cost for the new model laboratory school, which we're building on campus.
Okay, so it's not just the risk management aspect; it's the
No, this is a construction manager at risk, so they are at risk for providing us the school
Oh,
that we
okay.
need within that dollar
Okay.
value, and the maximum construction dollar we have is $119.2.
All right. Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve this contract?
So moved.
Motion by Senator Meredith. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Co-Chair Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke,
Yes.
Co-Chair Douglas,
Aye.
Chair Hart.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
The next items on the poll list are with Western Kentucky University, and our numbers 40 on the routine PSC green list and 91 on the PSC amendment ivory list. If representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. I'm Andrea Anderson, General Counsel.
And I'm Jennifer Smith, Assistant Vice President of Government and External Relations.
All right, thank you so much. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much, and I think Co-Chair Douglas has some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one question, and that's easy, and I know you all have ESP, so you probably know what question I'm going to ask. Am I right?
I do, yes.
Okay, but I'll ask it anyway for the record.
Sure.
$740.
Sure.
Help me.
It's a range, right? So the
Well,
part-
this says
that's the top end.
740.
Yes.
There may be a range, but I'm a simple guy.
Understand.
Okay.
So yes, this is for to serve as P3 counsel. So this is a very niche practice. We did an RFP. We had 2 bids, one from Dinsmore. So we'll be working with the Louisville Council, assuming this contract is approved. The other bid was from a California firm with a higher rate.
Can't give it to California. Sorry.
Understand?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any other questions on contract number 40? Okay. With that, do I have a motion to consider the contracts review without objection? Motion by Senator Richardson,
Second.
second by Co-Chair Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke,
Aye.
Co-Chair Douglas,
I had another question until you said California. Aye.
Chair Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Contract moves forward. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
We still got to take a vote on the other one.
Oh wait, I'm forgetting contract 91. Do I have a? Is there any questions on contract 91? If not, do I have a motion to approve the contract or reviewed without objection?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion by Senator Maris, second by Representative Rourke. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas. Aye. Representative Ballman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Aye.
Senator Douglas.
Aye,
Chairman.
but I am an alumni. You know that, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, and we won't hold it against you. Motion carries. Contract moves forward. Thank you all so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the pool list is with the Department for Medicaid Services and is number 6 on the PSC Amendment Ivory list. If the representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Lee. I'm the Commissioner for the Department for Medicaid Services.
All right, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much. And I have a question. Why did the contract warrant a $4 million increase?
This contract is for Gamewell Technologies to perform prior authorizations for individuals in the Medicaid program, specifically those individuals who are in our fee-for-service program, which includes long-term care individuals and individuals in our 1915C home and community-based waivers. And Senate Joint Resolution 72 mandated that the department create a new waiver specifically for individuals with severe mental illness and or severe mental illness and substance use disorder conditions. So that waiver has been recently approved by the Department for Medicaid Services, by the Cabinet for, it has been approved by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services recently. And so we will be adding new individuals to the Medicaid rolls that will require prior authorizations as they access services that are delivered by Medicaid providers. So therefore, we anticipate an increase in the members being served and in members who will need prior authorization services.
All right. Thank you so much. Senator Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make sure that I understand, because I initially had pulled this as well. And you answered one of my questions in that you're anticipating that the numbers will go up and not go down.
Correct.
Okay. Therefore, I'll ask my second question. This money is not for a new group to evaluate the approval of the prior authorization. It is simply to assist.
Correct. To handle the increase, the anticipated increase due to the new 1959 waiver for individuals with severe mental illness.
Mr. Chair, I'll formulate my question at another time, and I'll contact you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Representative Petrie.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just really quickly, additional service under the resolution, and so what we've got is a system that's already up and going. New waiver approved, so the same people that are servicing the program will go back and modify and maintain that program to include these new individuals, correct?
That is very well said, yes.
Okay. And you anticipate an increase. Do you have a decent anticipatory number of the actual increase rather than just up?
Yeah, the number we anticipate initially around 5,000 individuals will be participating in the new 1915I waiver for individuals with severe mental illness or SMI.
Okay. And if I may,
Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
thoughts on that? Good, bad, will work, not will work, $4 million to add 5,000 people on, 5,000 are going to receive increased care. Just, I'm giving you a chance to PR it.
Well, this waiver is, again, it was created. We created it due to Senate Joint Resolution 72. This is definitely something that is needed across the Commonwealth. It will help individuals. It's going to promote recovery because, as we know, some of the individuals that will be participating not only have a severe mental illness, but they also suffering from substance use disorder, and it will prevent institutionalization. So like most of our 1915C home and community-based waivers, this waiver is designed to treat individuals in their home or community setting so that they have adequate services designed to help them meet their care needs to prevent that institutionalization. And I think this is definitely, since Senate Joint Resolution saw the need and directed the department to create this waiver, which we believe is definitely needed for the population in the state right now.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Rourke.
Thank you, Chairman Hart. I just wanted to make a clarifying statement that it does the 1915 I-RISE does function differently than our 1915C waivers, and just that there aren't any slots. If you meet the requirements, you get the service. And so I think that is an important thing to note, that it does function differently than those traditional waivers that we have come to know and appreciate. So I just wanted to add that clarifying factor.
And that is correct. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
All right, I see no other questions. Do we have a motion to consider the contracts review without objection?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Representative Rourke. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith. Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Ballman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Aye.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
The next items on the pool list are with the Department of Highways, and our numbers 34 and 35 on the PSC Amendment Ivory list. If representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Yes, I'm Chuck Berger. I'm a professional civil engineer. I work as a design project manager in District 5, Highway District 5 in Louisville.
Good morning. I'm Eric Pelfrey, our Director of Professional Services for the Transportation Cabinet. And also for the second contract, we have the project manager for that one as well, that's online.
All right. Thank you also. Would you all please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, and I think Co-Chair Douglas has some questions.
Thank you much, Mr. Chairman. And who says the Vice Chair of Transportation does not inquire about my own area? Thank you so very much for being here. I really, really appreciate that. Initially starting out with contract number 34, was there some change in the initial submitted contract? Because when I'm reading it, we've got an increase of 792,000 plus the change to bring the whole contract up to 1.1. Now that is a huge increase, and I guess I'm trying to get a handle around providing funds for preliminary engineering services and why there's such a change.
Correct. It's just to be clear, thank you again for the opportunity to be here and speak to you all. We've mentioned in the past that we use a phased approach, which means that we typically go into just phase one engineering rather than tackling the entire breadth of the potential options. It's far more prudent for us, both on cost and on schedule, to look at the preferred alignment and then get through just phase one. That also eliminates the risk for the consultant. So after we proceed with phase one, then we move into phase two. That's a part of all of our RFPs, the request for proposal for the consultants. So if the consultant was not performing under phase one, we don't have we're not required to continue with that consultant. We can put the project back out for advertisement, select the most qualified firm. In this case, Stantec was doing a good job. As was explained in the initial RFP, we always expected to move into that phase two design, which in this case, a large part of that was for the structure design services. So if you look at the actual breakdown, as you mentioned, the $792,000, $529,000 of that was for structure design services. Those are interstate overpasses, as well as the final roadway design, which is another $262,000. But again, through the General Assembly, you all have given us the authority to advertise these and procure these as we see prudent. It was about $1 million up front, and again, we were far short of that with the initial phase one, knowing that the large majority of that cost would be in phase two design.
Well, I bring you in because I want you to know, and I hope the people across the Commonwealth all take a look at it, but the people in my district watch this because I request that they watch it, and they've been very, very vigilant at watching these. And they will hear about a request for proposal, and they assume that is the amount of the contract. And then they come back and they see that, wait a minute, we've had a 300% or a 300% plus increase in the ask.
Right.
And I think that unnerves them at times. So, I really do want to make sure that I give you this opportunity to make sense, because to them, it doesn't make sense. Is that fair?
That's fair. And I do understand. To be honest, before we started using the phased approach, we did put the entire amount. And to be honest, we were overpaying for consultant services by doing so. So again, this is far more prudent both in schedule and on cost to do so. Hypothetically, if we use the opposite, which I believe what you're saying is if we said initially in that initial RFP, we expected it to be $1 million contract. If we negotiated for only phase one, the consultants are going to see that $1 million and they're going to shoot towards that $1 million. And that's not our intent. Again, our intent is to be the most prudent as possible. And this is the best method that we have to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I had similar questions on 35. So
you want to do them together?
We can just do them together if that is your wish.
Go ahead.
You've already answered. You've answered my questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions, do I have a motion for approval of both contracts 34 and 35 to consider the contracts reviewed without objection? Motion by Senator Meredith. Do I have a second? Second by Co-Chair Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Meredith. Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Ballman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Yes.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you all so much for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The next items on the pool list are with the University of Kentucky and are items numbers 86 and 87 on the PSC Amendment Ivory list. If representatives are here, please identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. My name is Barry Swanson. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer and Interim VP for Facilities Management at the University.
Melissa Frederick, Vice President of Human Resources at the University of Kentucky.
Michael Hatfield, Director of Administration in UK Healthcare and Office of Government Relations and Public Policy.
All right, thank you guys so much for being here. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you all so much, and I think Representative Petrie has some questions.
Thank you, and I'll be looking at 86 and 88. I'm not sure if I heard 87, but 86 and 88 I think are the ones, or you want me to stick
Yeah,
with
that's
just
correct.
86?
Yeah. No, you can do them both together, or you take them one at a time.
All right, thank
whatever
you.
you prefer.
Thank you very much. On number 86, regarding Jackie Horn, an increase by $200,000 for guardianship services program. So if I'm looking at this right, UK Health Fund is the source, not federal, not state, not restricted in the traditional sense, but UKHF funds. What's the source of that fund? Is that a fee that grows over time, or how does that fund get funded?
That's a good question, but I'm not aware of the funding mechanism. I can talk about the procurement and the services, but I'm not sure where the
All right,
funding
well,
comes from.
we can take care of that issue. If someone will get back to the committee, and I'm in particular interested in that of what the source of that fund is. For right now, we'll just say that's UKHF funds. We've got 350 an hour. You've heard before, 100 and a quarter is what we look at. How long has Attorney Horn been providing these type services? for you?
I do not know how long we did. This was the subject of an RFP. We sent it out to 9 vendors. We had 5 vendors in Kentucky. We're in that solicitation, and the award was made to the Horn Law Firm located in Lexington. We've also got another firm under a contract that's expiring that also is a Kentucky firm that's in Shelbyville.
Right.
So.
And this will just help me. Is this to initiate guardianship proceedings or for this person to perform the guardianship role after the proceedings have concluded in district court?
This would be I've got some notes here from general counsel. The law firm represents patients. They do not represent the university. They apply for appointment with the local district court for as a guardian.
There's been a big increase by 200,000, results in a 350,000 contract. Any unforeseen circumstances, or man, our numbers are really high, or man, that RFP came in at a higher rate than we thought?
We did have 3 attorneys who were doing this service. One has stepped away, so we are shifting some of those towards this attorney, Jackie Horn.
I got you. So he's taken over additional roles on another contract, probably.
That's right.
That's correct.
All right. I don't want to take up too much time on this. I just want to explain to this body. I have interest in this. One, I want to know where the funding source is, because of course we have guardianship services and county attorneys so that the proceedings can be initiated and can be handled when someone has been declared legally disabled and a guardian is appointed. And I want to make sure that I can understand why I pursue this as opposed to regular channels. What you're doing may be far superior. I just need to understand it, and I'll cut my questions at that point, but I'd like follow-up with you on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Any other, Senator Thomas?
Representative Petrie, Chairman Petrie makes an excellent point that I think needs some further explanation to this committee. Our guardianship statutes now in Kentucky are very archaic. And for the last 3 years, I've been working to try to modify and update those guardianship statutes. This has become a very complex and really inconsistent process across Kentucky as how we administer guardianships. And we need to address it. And I will share with you, Representative Petrie, that the big stumbling block now, and there's a group that works on this monthly, has been, how do we fund the guardian ad litems who come in as part of the process? That's been the big stumbling block, not the recognition that the guardianship statutes need to be revised. And you and I can talk more about this, because I would like your help here. But the bottom line is our guardianship statutes are woefully outdated. They have inconsistent application across from county to county, and people recognize that. But obviously, as you well know, money's often the stumbling block to getting things done, and that's what the case is here. I do know Jackie Horn in Lexington, and she's a fine attorney, and Jackie does a good job in this field of practice.
All right. If there's no other, Representative Petrie.
And I apologize. We had 88 also, the Aon Consulting. We've got an $800,000 increase agency funds to a total of $1.6 million. Why? That's a large increase. Why? Was it something that could have been foreseen, and the original number could have been higher than what it was? Help me understand, please.
So I can speak to that, and actually some of this work that is done is considered one-time work that we came across as we embarked on a couple of RFPs. So as you know, Aon supports our healthcare insurance plans, the UK health plan, UK student health plan, and retiree medical health plans, and the Know Your RX Coalition. So as we've gone into RFPs, there was work that they did that supported that. That was one time.
So really a change in scope?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, do I have a motion to consider the contracts reviewed without objection?
Mr. Chair, with regard to 86, I think some legitimate questions are asked. I don't have a problem with the contract itself, but I'd like to make a motion to defer that so we can get that additional information that was.
Okay, I have a motion to defer contract number 86. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by co-chair Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to explain my no vote, if I may, please.
Go right ahead.
Again, I think this is a contract worthy of approval. I understand the concerns about the increase, but as I said, this has become a very difficult area to practice because you get inconsistent results from county to county, and our statutes are really archaic and really hard to administer by the district court judges across the state here in Kentucky. I just don't see a legitimate reason to defer it. I think the explanations that's been given as to why you have this increase are satisfactory, and so for those reasons, I vote no.
Representative Rourke,
No.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Chairman Hart,
Yes, motion carries. Now do I have a motion to consider contract number 88 reviewed without objection?
So moved.
Motion by Senator Meredith. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith,
Aye.
Senator Richardson, Senator Thomas, Representative Ballman, Representative McCool, Representative Rourke,
Aye.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you all so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next items on the pool list are with behavioral health, development, and intellectual disabilities, and our number is number 1 on the MOA routine pink list and number 8 on the MOA amendment yellow list. If representatives are here, please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Good morning again. Sarah Johnson, Director of Substance Use Disorder within the Department for Behavioral Health, Developmental, and Intellectual Disabilities.
Good morning again. Dr. Patty Clark, Division of Mental Health Director with DBID.
All right, and thank you, ladies, and just remind you are still under oath. I have a question. Is this this is a new contract? It looks like the start date was 8/20/25. What type of training activities will take place and is meant by an ongoing contract like this?
Sure. This contract supports statewide training for substance use disorder treatment professionals on the American Society of Addiction Medicine criteria, 4th edition. The ASAM criteria is the most widely recognized set of standards for treatment placement, treatment service intensity, and treatment planning for individuals with addiction and co-occurring disorders. It's also a requirement by Medicaid. In 2019, the Kentucky Department for Medicaid Services implemented the Substance Use Disorder 1115 waiver demonstration, and they adopted this ASAM criteria as the statewide treatment standard. With the release of the new ASAM criteria 4th edition, all providers have been directed to transition to the ASAM criteria 4th edition effective July 1 of 2025, and these trainings are essential to support a smooth and effective transition.
All right, thank you so much. How will the providers be chosen for the training, and maybe more importantly, how will your success be measured?
Absolutely. So we've made this publicly available. We send this out. We've placed it on our website, and we also are going to be emailing it out to licensed providers that hold alcohol and other drug entity license, as well as the community mental health professionals. So that way any individuals that are interested in attending and that are providing direct clinical services would be eligible to attend. The return on investment that you mentioned, we've worked with Hazelton Betty Ford to develop a customizable outcome measurement. We're doing both pre and post evaluations to be able to ensure that we are achieving what we're paying for as far as the training and application of the new skills that are being taught.
All right. Thank you so much. Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to consider the contract review without objection? Motion by Senator Richardson. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Thomas. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith. Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Ballman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Yes.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries and contract moves forward. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
you do have another. Contract. Okay, it's contract number 8 on the memorandum of agreement amendment list. The questions I had on that one, what programs will this funding actually facilitate?
So this funding facilitates a variety of programs that are occurring across the state. For example, let me, get my list. Not here. We have, was looking for some specifics. A variety of community-based organizations that have applied for funding. For example, there's one group that is working with boys in a community and really looking at life skills, mentoring, opportunities to build resilience and protective factors for those young people as a way to increase their ability to thrive and to function in society as they move forward. Just a couple of, there's another one, for example, Project Ricochet provides therapeutic supports, and they take those into barbershops, salons, and youth centers, which helps tackle accessibility and stigma, which are some of the major root causes that keep families from seeking help. And then we also have school-based prevention programs focused on early identification and supports for children, reducing long-term impacts of untreated behavioral health impacts.
All right, thank you so much. Co-Chair Douglas, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I do have a question. I provide funds to become a statewide supplemental nutritional assistant. So are we looking at this one? Okay, no, I don't. Where did that come? Because I'm looking. Okay, so you want to do? No, I'm not going to ask.
Okay, I think his question's to.
No, mine's different.
Okay. If there's no other questions, do I have a motion to consider the contract review without objection? A motion by Senator Meredith. Do I have a second? Second by Representative Rourke. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith. Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Representative Ballman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Aye.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes. Motion carries. Contract moves forward. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
The next item on the pool list is with CHFS, Department for Aging and Independent Living, and is number 3 on the MOA routine peak list. Representatives are here. Please come forward and identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. I'm Edward Clark with the Department for Aging and Independent Living.
Tiffany Smither, Assistant Director over the Division of Finance and Administration in the Department for Aging and Independent Living.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right. Thank you all so much. And I have a question. When I looked at the vendor for this contract, it reads multi. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and be a little bit more specific on what multi stands for?
Sure. It's the 15 area development districts.
Okay. It sounds like if we approve this contract, you can go out and hire anyone you please without no oversight or accountability. And keep in mind, we get limited descriptions on these contracts. Can you just explain that a little bit, or how the process is on these contracts? Or am I confusing you?
I think I'm a little confused by the question. It's a contract with the area development districts. We've been using them for this particular project since fiscal year 2010.
So I guess what you're going to be utilizing staff personnel from the area development districts to perform the work.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Sorry about the confusion. That's really all I had. I was just wanting to verify my suspicion. Do we have any? Representative Petrie, do you have a question?
Just to make sure. So we have aging programs through the AD districts, mainly federally funded.
Correct.
This is an outreach program at the state level to make sure that people know about the programs at each of the AD districts. That's what this is?
It is a federally funded program, correct, yes.
Okay. And then to Chair Hart's point, we get limited information, so anybody else, 15 AD districts makes sense to me.
Okay.
But when we see multi, like that made no sense to me whatsoever, so the same question's popping up in probably everybody's mind. So I don't know if there's a way to avoid that staff-wise, description-wise, whatever, but if we don't know who it is, we're gonna have to ask.
We can take that back.
Very good, thank you much.
Senator Thomas.
Yes, and to avoid any confusion in the future, I mean, I clearly understand Chairman Hart's concern. In the future, when you have multi, and you mean this is going to be assigned to all the area development districts, I mean, just put a hyphen, multi assigned to all the area development districts. I think that would eliminate you having to come forward and explain what you're doing. I mean, I just think it's vague as written now, and 4 or 5 additional words following a hyphen would certainly clarify who the intended vendor is.
Absolutely.
Senator Meredith.
Another question, just a point of information, is that information is provided to us always in the back of the packet. Anytime it says multi, if you go to the very back and reference it by contract number, it tells you who those multiple partners are. So that information is provided to us.
All right. Do we have any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve the contract review without objection? Motion by Senator Meredith. Do I have a second? I'll second it. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith. Aye. Senator Richardson. Aye. Senator Thomas. Aye. Representative Bowman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Aye.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. The contract moves forward. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
The final item on the pool list is with the Department for Community-Based Services and is number 20 on the MOA Amendment Yellow List. If the representatives are here, please identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. I'm Roger McCann. I'm the Director of the Division of Family Support within the Department for Community-Based Services in the Cabinet for Health and Family Services.
Can you say that one more time fast? No.
No.
Just kidding. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much. And I think Co-Chair Douglas has a question.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I apologize for going into this a little too quickly earlier. But to provide funds to become a statewide supplemental nutritional assistance program, outreach hub initially. We on one of our oversight boards, we're looking at some of these things, essentially recruiting people into these programs is what we're talking about. Whether we like it or not, that's what we're doing. Help me out here, because we're asking for another hub, but we have other areas who are asking for community coordinators to do this, social workers to do this, nonprofits to do this. Help us on the committee understand why we need a fourth arm, a fourth hub, or I should say a fourth type of entity assisting with this. And my second question is, if this is done, does that mean this will give us some flexibility to not have the others? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Appreciate your question, and I'm happy to address that. SNAP, this is for SNAP outreach. It is a USDA program administered nationally. Kentucky administers it. It is funded by the USDA. It is SNAP, and I refer to it one of the SNAP cousins, because there's a couple other programs that hang around SNAP. This is not a benefit program. It does not provide food or any sort of cash assistance to individuals. It is about that outreach and education. So what this allows folks to do, like typically a nonprofit organization, is if they are working with folks who are in need of food, they can provide them information about SNAP. They can provide them information about other resources. So typically a food bank is a good fit for that. In Kentucky, we looked at how many of our counties were covered by SNAP outreach. We found that we had about 52, and they were under 3 different nonprofits: Catholic Charities, Brighton Center in Northern Kentucky, and God's Pantry, who kind of serves that middle bandwidth run along 75. Then there was added another one out of Bowling Green. I have trouble saying it. It's Feeding America, Kentucky's Heartland is their full official name. So now we have 4. We have 4 contracts, but we don't have all 120 counties covered. So we have 4 contracts, 4 invoices every month, 4 contracts that may be coming before this committee to review. How can we get 120 counties covered under this federal program with less overhead? So what we're doing here is we created a contract with Feeding Kentucky, because they serve as an association for 7 food banks. Those 7 cover all 120 counties. So what you're seeing in this contract, and it's on that second page, and I understand it's kind of buried down in there, and under the services required there, it lists that we are moving God's Pantry, Feeding America, Kentucky's Heartland, and we're also adding Dare to Care, which is in Jefferson County. We're adding all 3 of those under one organization. So we have 1 contract now. So we're moving 3 down to 1. We have the potential to add the other food banks that would give us 120 county coverage. We're only managing 1 contract, 1 invoice a month, 1 contract that comes before GCRC. So we are making sure that we're giving coverage, fair coverage to all of our counties, but we are making an efficiency move here to put them all under one umbrella. So this additional funding have normally gone to those other food banks. They are now being combined. Their contracts end at the end of this month. They will now be picked up under this umbrella. The other thing that Feeding Kentucky is doing is they're putting, and you said a central hub, they're putting a technical assistant person in their office to be the one liaison to us, so we only have to work with one rather than working with multiple, and then they will distribute information out to them. So it gains efficiency. It lets us offload a little bit of that work from the cabinet.
May I, Mr. Chair?
Go right ahead.
One more. Would that being the case, I did have a second question in there. If you would attempt to at least share some information regarding that. And that is cost savings.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, sir. Well, let me point out
because
first.
that's I'm partially hearing that we need extra money to put all of these under one heading. is there a cost savings to do this?
Oh, so let me, my apology if I haven't clarified. This contract money, this is USDA money. This is not state or general funds money, first of all. And secondly, under the SNAP outreach arrangement, all organizations have to do a 50% match. So they have to come up with 50% of this funds. This is not adding any additional funding. This is the other contracts that are expiring, we're combining them into one. So I want to make sure that while we are adding to this one, it's not adding new money coming in. These would have gone to the other contracts. But to your cost savings point, where we would have managed multiple contracts before, combining them into one, that gives us a cost savings on our side, and plus the invoicing, and plus having to bring more contracts to review. The idea is that we're consolidating and trying to make things more efficient in how we work. I hope I've answered your question, sir.
You have, but again, I guess my point is this: we have a number of people who are trying to understand some of these. If I may, Mr. Chair, I apologize. And what they see is a new contract asking for more money, and I appreciate you coming in and explaining some of this. One of the things that I will have some pushback on is that when we make those distinctions between our Commonwealth taxes and our federal taxes, those people who are working gainful employment pay both. And when we make such a distinction between the two, we really are sort of telling them that your federal taxes don't really count because they're federal taxes. They do. Whether they are state taxes or federal taxes, those people who are working gainful employment are paying them. So, I really want them to understand that we are not only being good stewards with the money that we look at Commonwealth taxes, but we're also trying to assist in being good stewards with that money that's going to the federal level. But thank you for the explanation.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If there's no other questions, do I have a motion to consider the contract review without objection? Motion made by Senator Meredith. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Richardson. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote nay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Meredith.
Aye.
Senator Richardson. Senator Thomas. Aye. Representative Bauman. Representative McCool. Representative Rourke.
Aye.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Chairman Hart.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
The last item that we have is the announcement. The October 2025 meeting date will be Monday, October the 13th, 2025 at 9 a.m. And take note that is a Monday instead of our normal Tuesday. So, with that.